Hello, dear one of 14 blood-related Kukla family member, or dear friend, whomever you may be, wherever you may be, welcome. Today is the first anniversary of Uvalde, Texas. 2 teachers, 20 children massacred by a child. And of course, there's lots I'd love to share with you about my effort, and hopefully someday you will join my effort to help heal Uvalde, the residents of Uvalde, the children, teenagers, parents, teachers, seniors, aunts, uncles of Uvalde, Texas. But yet, before healing others, we have a very deep sickness and illness in our family that I'm going to do my very best to lovingly share with you. And there is that truth that I'm trying to get to help heal my father and those around him, to help come up higher, to help heal my father, to take action to help heal my father, Warren Harry Kukla. So the short story about Uvalde, when I did go to Uvalde, I went to Uvalde because of the extreme ill health I saw on the videos about Uvalde, Texas. The obese children, teenagers, parents, teachers, sheriff, police officers. That's what I found my 7 days in Uvalde, Texas. And that's why I changed Robert Fritz's newsletter to Here's How We Heal Uvalde. The most successful process for accomplishment in history, the creative process, by Robert Fritz. So the very bottom of this, if you like the way Robert writes, by the path of least resistance for artists. At the very bottom, the website, stopk12childabuse.us, nk12massacres.us, createk12change.us, and createagreatamerica.us. Here's how we, you and I, we heal Uvalde. I also have from Uvalde, I spoke with the Chamber of Commerce. Who are you bringing out to the businessmen and women? Who are you bringing out to the chamber to teach? I believe it's the Fairfax Plaza in Uvalde. Still carry their business cards with me. Uvalde Chamber of Commerce. Adam, Martin, Olga, City of Chandler, Police Department. Not a peep from anybody in Uvalde, Texas. What path are the leaders pointing to for all citizens of Uvalde? I've not heard from them. So I'll put and instead focus on my family. So for my family, a very high-flying family, my mother, Judith, artist, as well as psychologist, psychiatrist. My father, Warren, CPA, has helped thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people, families. My sister, Jeannie, to the left, never found her groove, never found her fulfillment. Very sweet lady, but Russell's not living his life the way he should be. And that's what I'm here to share with about my father. That's started by my father. My sister Amy, to the other side, was actually the person who came to Arizona for ASU for a high-level mathematical class, math class. My brother Chris behind her owns Phoenix Freight Forwarding. Also now moved back to Wisconsin, Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, as a realtor. Chris lived here almost 30 years, never saw him more than probably 4 or 5 times. My brother Robert, realtor in Scottsdale, selling multi-million-dollar homes. Never hear from Robert. So the message that my father has shared forever is Russell's not living his life the way he should be. And that's affected the whole family. And so that is, I believe, the reason why my loving father has, I believe it's stage 3 stomach cancer, nuclear radiation chemotherapy. So one small example, as I learned from Robert Fritz, my favorite teacher, where's the tire hit the road? Do Do you remember the days of Facebook Portal? We only have 14 Kukla, blood-related Kukla in our family. So when this came out, I did my best to set this up. And 2 of my father's 4 blood-related grandchildren. There's a 5th non-blood-related granddaughter. Remember distinctly, Grandpa. Russell's not living his life the way he should be. Later, I'll be sharing with you as the movie Flash of Genius, starring Greg Kinnear. I had that flash of genius. I finally understood how to share with my father and mother why I can see these extreme control issues that are causing my father to have nuclear radiation chemotherapy for his well-intended attempt to control Russell and others. So flash of genius that I had. So before that, my question is, why have 9 families completely abandoned Russell and Terrell Lynn? Out of the 9 families in our lives, all 9, including the Kukla family, have completely abandoned Russell Warren Kukla and Terrell Lynn Kukla. Completely abandoned. Never to explain why, unless Russell's not living his life the way he should be. Second question, why have 4 daughters completely abandoned their mother and I at the Healing Arts Day Spa, now going on 3 years? 4 daughters completely abandoned. Never shared why. So out of the 4 treatment rooms in the Healing Arts Day Spa, Terrell Lynn's using 1. And Russell's now working to find therapists or room renters. So for the Terrell Lynn style Kukla, the sons and daughters, 30 years and counting, why have they completely abandoned Russell and their mother, Terrell Lynn? Still today, they choose to promote a false negative concept of Russell Warren Kukla. Let's put that on the left hand. A false negative concept of Russell Warren Kukla instead of a true positive reality of Russell Warren Kukla. Very much so. They're in the concepts. And they're all believing that this is true together, instead of in the reality, working minimum 6 days a week, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Sunday too for the last 30 years, having created everything for the Healing Arts Day Spa. Not one person having created anything. There's the 2 relative points. So this false negative concept of Russell Warren Kukla, instead of the, do you want me to bring out all the hard drives with all the information on it, all the JPEGs, movies, audios, GIF images, PDF images? Now hiring massage therapists. Do you know how many hours I've invested? Day spa room for rent. At least $2,000 worth and counting. Our beautiful spa since 1998, February of 1998. So I have 9 families completely abandoned Russell Warren Kukla and Terrell Lynn Kukla. Why have 4 daughters completely abandoned the Healing Arts Day Spa? Working 30, 35 hours a week, earning $1,200 plus a week. So Warren Harry Kukla, 85 years old. Judith Ann Kukla, 85 years old. Not one of the 9 families helping at all. 8 of the 9 families not blood related, not sending any positive information to Warren Harry Kukla and Judith Ann Kukla. So Uvalde, Texas, and then Nashville, Tennessee. 1 janitor, 2 teachers, 3 children massacred. That's who my father has been trying to control, instead of, how may I help you, Russell? You see any resemblance? Children are being massacred by children. Teachers are being massacred by children. And yet, trying to control Russell from stopping that and not helping to stop that. So when you get in the way and family members are, there's either the neutral, the positive, and the negative. And for many, many, many years, including 30 years, it's been neutral, never positive. And the majority have shifted to negative. And that's what you're up against. So when I say that trying to control Russell, nuclear radiation, chemotherapy is the price paid, I'm sending the warning shot. Any intentional abuse of Russell, his wife, his family business, his grandsons and his granddaughters, you're on the same path. Very much so in creating, I'm going out into the unknown. I've learned to deal with that. And instead of people helping Russell, going out into the unknown to make a difference for children, teenagers, parents, teachers, Arizona, America, and our world, people are choosing to try and control Russell. He's not living his life the way he should be. So instead of participating in Russell's life, I've not heard from this family, the Kukla family, for years. So why have 9 families completely abandoned Russell Warren Kukla and Terrell Kukla? Flash of Genius with Greg Kinnear. Flash of Genius is actually a legal precedent, set a legal precedence that to have a invention, you have to be able to prove that you've had a flash of genius. So my flash of genius for my father, Warren Harry Kukla, he was in Mesa, visited shortly our day spa, which is very rare, about 5 years ago. As we left Mesa, our day spa, we had to go out onto Dobson Road, which often I warn people about, be extremely careful. People are coming down that road 45, 50 miles an hour, at least. So my dad, driving, won't let Russell drive, wearing his heavy sunglasses, pulls out on the Dobson Road, and I have to warn him, because the car is coming about 45, 50, and make sure that he swerves to miss. So several months later, flash of genius. My father has never let Russell Warren Kukla, his eldest son, drive his vehicle, even when he's a senior and struggling to see and drive, and he almost killed his son. When I explained this to my father and mother, it was like a brief and kind of they backed off over it. A couple of weeks later, Terrell, Lynn, and I called in to kind of pick up on that, hoping to find some help with healing. And they were ready for me. So what came back from my father and mother in unison together, yeah, and we never let you drive the family boat either. So while their son is doing his best to stop the massacre of children, teachers in America, it seems to be funny and a joke about controlling Russell, that Russell's not living his life the way he should be. What's Uvalde, Texas doing? Everybody's on board with new regulation to increase the age from 18 to 21 for assault rifles. That's not the solution. So either you will help to take the burden off of children, teenagers, teachers, or you allow that burden to still be upon them. Children either drop out of education, many do, I almost did, Terrell, Lynn, Stout, Kukla did, or they strike back at education. So for Warren, Harry Kukla and Judith Ann Kukla, the question yet to ask your eldest son is, how may I help you? And this is my best effort to help bring understanding, clarity, truth, and healing to our Kukla family. Only 14 blood-related Kukla family members. My father was a single child. My mother, one of 3 daughters. Our Aunt Jan, no children by birth. Our Aunt Bonnie, 2 children by birth. One has passed. So my dear father has 4 blood-related grandchildren, 1 non-related grandchild. A very small family, yet Russell Warren Kukla is not living the life the way he should be, with 2 stepsons, 4 stepdaughters, multiple spouses, 15 grandchildren who have completely abandoned Russell Warren Kukla and Terrell, Lynn Kukla. Again, over the 30 years, they've all been neutral, no help. But they've all gone from neutral to hurting Russell Warren Kukla by taking away his grandsons and his granddaughters for no reason. So while I'm out trying my best to stop the massacre of children and teachers, everybody's on board. Russell's not living his life the way he should be. 30-year marriage to Terrell, Lynn Kukla. Celebrating our 25th anniversary at the Healing Arts Day Spa, all alone. 25 years together. No, creating this video was never going to be the way I hoped it would be, because how can I continue to think this, explain this, and nobody choose to participate? That's the sad part. So choose not to participate, that's fine by me. I've shared. As W. Edwards Deming, my always #1 favorite teacher, would say at the conclusion of his presentations, I have done my very best for you to help heal you, 14 blood-related Kukla family member, or dear friend.